Hi, my name is Colin SkipperWing Bird, and welcome to another episode of SkipperWing Draws a Thing, where I, the eponymous SkipperWing, draw a thing. If you'd like a version of this video without the audio commentary, you can check out the links in the description below, or in the annotations when they appear on screen, or in the cards when they appear at the end of this video. I promise I will update that. Today's video, Snake Tales, where I draw a Solid Snake, Naked Snake, and Raiden from Metal Gear Solids 1, 2, and 3. Music by, the song is called Sounds of Liberty from the Metal Gear Solid 2 video game. It's a fan remix by Carbohydro M and Scared Sim. You can find this track on OC Remix. Links again in the description. Cool. And I always want to say thank you for people who make these music, because I can't do it, and these videos would be very boring without it, so you should totally check them out. So as for today's subject, so I have a weird love-hate relationship with the Metal Gear franchise. It's very strange because, on the one hand, I like what Hideo Kojima has tried to go for in terms of gameplay, and really trusting the player to come up with their own solutions to this problem that is, if I run out and try and shoot 5 guys in the face, all of them are going to shoot me before I've even killed every one of them. And that's great. But I feel that some of the idiosyncrasies of the Metal Gear series hold it back from really being one of those crazy, amazing franchises. The controls are always a mess. The controls are always a mess. The camera is almost never displays entirely what you need to assess a situation properly, and the radar sort of renders the entire camera invalid. But there's so much that's compelling about the series. Raiden, Snake, and Big Boss are all very compelling heroes in their own different ways, and they take the deconstruction in a way that really works. So I can't help but be drawn to the series, even though there's a lot of... If anybody's ever heard me talk about that series in real life, you'll know how much I take issue with certain aspects of the series. But enough about me and my love of Metal Gear, more on the drawing. So at the beginning of the video, I actually went out of my way to record the process of gathering reference for the characters. Because they're very intricate, none of them really have a simplified design. The closest I can come is Snake's thermal vest from Metal Gear Solid, which is why, even though he doesn't actually need it in this video, I put it in with there because it's an iconic part of his design. It centralizes everything. But they're very complicated characters, and even for characters I know and love, and even for my own characters, I need to reference, so that way I'm not constantly looking at a different screen to find it. So I always make a point of gathering reference and also making a point of mentioning it in the videos, because that's something that you should do if you do these things. Another interesting thing for me was I gathered a lot of Yoji Shinkawa, the concept designer for the Metal Gear series. I gathered a lot of his illustrations, but the problem with gathering reference off the internet is that sometimes the reference that you gather isn't really good for referencing the characters. His illustrations, or at least the ones that are in the public domain, not the ones that are actually used for modeling, they're really not good reference. And no, I need to state that these are promotional stills. These are meant to get you interested in the game, not so much to be used as reference for modeling or drawing the characters. And they're very pretty. But because of the painterly style, and because there's not a lot of detail, or rather there's an overabundance of unnecessary detail for reference, they're hard to use as a reference for drawing. Which wasn't so much of a problem for Snake and Big Boss, but it was a bit of an issue because they've had more promotional art, but it was a bit of an issue for Raiden. There wasn't a lot to find, or at least not at a first glance, and what reference there was of his appearance from Metal Gear Rising, which is not the Raiden that I wanted to go for. So yeah, there was that. The other issue I ran into with this drawing is that while I had the poses really perfectly figured out, I didn't think about what the background would be, and that's a big mistake on my part. Mostly because these are things that you do want to think about as you're drawing the characters and how they're going to fit into an environment. So I cheated. I do that sometimes. I cheated by putting a generic fence and implying that they had just snuck over and put a building in the background, and I was hoping to imply that the The big shell was in the background, but that didn't really work. But I'm still really happy with this piece, and you should check it out. And that's it for me. You should totally check out my awesome comic, The Crimson Fly. You should also like and subscribe if you like this video, or suggest something in the comments for what I should draw next. My name is Colin SkipperWing Bird, and I'm signing out.